has finally spoke and said, this Jasmine go.
Never cheated on nobody, so I don't know what y'all talking about.
One more time.
Never cheated on nobody, so I don't know what y'all talking about.
Well,
You feel about between Papoose and Remy Ma?
They both cool with me. Like I knew Papoose for years, over 15 years. Knew Remy for over 15 years.
I told that Remy Ma and Papoose are done. I told y'all that Papoose put hands on that little boy she messed.
Remy, I know it's corny. Remy, you must need blood if you say he your type.
Like, oh my God, I hope they don't find out about this to me.
You know, this is very crazy. Before we begin, turn on the notification bell and subscribe to our channel for future updates like this. We used to believe in fairy tales because Papoose and Remy Ma represented black love in its purest form. As his wife spent 6 years in prison, Papoose was like a movie character, encouraging and praising her to anybody who would listen. He married her while she was still incarcerated, in fact. Every time Papoose performed live or in interview, he made it clear that Remy Ma was his queen.
The whole easy to Papoose now that he don't talk as much as they talked on the stage. Oh, yes.
His service, the book, a very reputable source that Papoose and this guy got into a real bad where he almost knocked out the teeth that should have fell out. Was on this guy because his teeth was.
Nobody wins feuds. Don't ask me no questions about Remy and Papoose. You heard it. Why you asking me questions? How many times? No, I'm not asking about that. I just want to know how many times have people asked you about that when you had to put that in the song?
A lot. You know what I'm saying? Behind the scenes, family, friends, this, that. And I can't tell you. Don't ask no questions about Remy and Papoose. Is real. Plus, I don't know nothing.
You don't know nothing because you don't ask?
No, I just don't know nothing.
And sometimes we meet and get hands put on them, though. And I love boxing. It's one of my favorite sports. I just never can do it. Because it goes right back into that other category when I was telling you. As soon as I feel like you get one hit, some people be meeting and get hands put on them, though. And I love boxing. It's one of my favorite sports.
The battle rapper and Remy are said to get along well. The note didn't exactly convince the internet, which has been examining every post and searching for hints in every word, but it was just a matter of time until everything went viral. For months, there have been rumors that Captain cheated on Papoose, and believe me, they are true.
That sometimes people need to fight it out. Because talking doesn't do it. Sometimes you can talk. Like in this certain situation, you can talk to a person, you express how you feel, you express how they feel. Yeah, come to a mutual agreement that y'all either don't agree or, you might start seeing it from another person's point of view. When it gets to the level where we deal with people that, like, sometimes how I used to be, I don't even want to hear that shit. I don't give a fuck how you feel. I don't care what you thought. What's up? What we doing?
This is known as business management, and it became even juicier following a highly publicized altercation. To be honest, the incident didn't yield any positive results, and Remy Ma faced criticism for overstepping his boundaries with Papa's wife. When Papoose and Remy Ma finally met at an industry event, let's just say that their relationship didn't work out. The two reportedly got into a heated argument, and before anyone else could step in, Papoose decided to speak with his fist. Captain startled the rap community after the incident. The purported relationship between Remy and yet another rapper was terrible news. However, it didn't last long, just like her romance with Eve the Block Captain, and it quickly became clear that her relationship with Papoose was starting to deteriorate too much to ignore. Despite his decision to remain silent while the whispers went on, Papoose's actions spoke louder than words, and he gradually began to distance himself from Remy Ma. And the reason this sounds so serious is that Papoose was the most dedicated person to Remy Ma during her darkest moments. He married her over the phone while she was incarcerated and remained faithful to her for 6 years. Fans are cheering him on in this new chapter. This is where things start to heat up. The best thing about Papoose is that he seems happier. But his new girlfriend isn't just any woman. She's a professional boxer. She can throw hands, you read correctly. Despite what the streets may say, it appears that Papoose has finally had enough and is ready to prioritize himself. After Remy Ma was released from prison, Papoose proudly adopted the term Black Love in hip-hop and was the epitome of loyalty. Because of Remy Ma's alleged infidelity with a member of their joint firm, Papoose and the fans who cheered the release feel deceived. Even though Dee didn't seem to appreciate it, Papoose gave her his old one when she was initially released so they could start over, and felt that their romance had destroyed the idealized image of Black love and left many people with bad taste. Papoose became the epitome of faithfulness as soon as Remy Ma was put in jail, and fans hailed him for being a loyal husband who waited for his wife to return and supported her through everything. They were the perfect match, demonstrating that true love can withstand hardship. Papoose supported Remy during her 6-year prison sentence and openly declared his love for her. Papoose was by Remy's side the whole time after her release, and they were married. Even while their bond seemed unbreakable, the foundation gradually started to crumble. Things took a drastic turn when fans who had long valued Papoose's loyalty were shocked to learn that he had moved on. The speculations were promptly confirmed when Papoose was seen out in public with a new woman. But this woman wasn't just any woman. She seemed to fit into Papoose's public character and had her own background. When Papoose, who was once known for his unwavering devotion to Remy, revealed that he was in a new relationship, the entire world watched in shock. My initial thoughts were, was there unrest in paradise, or was Papo just looking for anything else? The media quickly picked up on the tension, dividing fans, and it was unclear how Remy would react to the news. When Remy Ma learned of Papoose's new connection, things quickly spiraled out of control. Not only was the betrayal painful, but so was the public show of it all. Remy, known for her tough-minded attitude, lost control, and a fight broke out between Papoose new lover, and while fans and celebrities watched the drama unfold, social media was ablaze with emotions. In interviews and on social media, Remy expressed her feelings of embarrassment and rage. She retorted fiercely, expressing her disapproval of Papoose's sudden change of heart. It felt like a complete betrayal to her after all the years she had spent behind bars and the sacrifices she had made for their love. When Remy and Papo's quarrel went viral, the internet became a battlefield for their new girlfriend. The situation only got worse as the media started to report on every detail, scrutinizing every word and action from both sides. The crowd seemed to be watching Papoose and Remy carefully at all times. Fans posted memes, tweeted, and poured their opinions onto Instagram. Given the many years of separation, several fans felt that Papoose had every right to move on, and celebrities fanned the flames by offering their opinions. Others believed that Remy's sacrifices and commitment should have been recognized, therefore, they backed her. But she was no ordinary lady. Her background seemed to contradict Remy's stern demeanor. The new girlfriend, who had suddenly become involved in this public dispute, also had to deal with the criticism. Who was she, and how did she feel about the tense situation? Many people were interested in her past at first. On social media, she justified herself by saying that she was not involved in Papoose and Remy's breakup. While some sympathized with her, others saw her as a homewrecker. It was evident that the audience found her role in the drama difficult to understand, and things only seemed to become worse. Papoose, who was once the picture of unwavering commitment, was caught between two women who wanted his love and allegiance. His followers were scrutinizing his choices, wondering if his emotional state appeared to be inconsistent with his public character or if his new connection was genuine. love became less significant than how the public saw his acts. As the story developed, it became clear that the fallout was not an isolated incident. Was it a result of his problems with Remy, or had he really found something more satisfying? Remy was protecting her honor on the other side. The breakup was unpleasant, and she made it clear in interviews and public statements that she would not put up with Papoose's betrayal. She was heartbroken, but she also made sure everyone knew she was upset. This was made more difficult by the fact that their relationship was well known and Remy was using her position to vent, show her sorrow, and attack Papoose for his actions. However, beneath the anger was a woman who had experienced a. Online, fans of Remy and Papoose were split, with each group taking sides and sharing their opinions on social media. Some defended Papoose's right to continue, arguing that love can fade with time, especially after the strain of years apart. Others supported Remy, arguing that she didn't deserve such a public humiliation because she had always stood behind Papoose. In the heated online debate, everyone had an opinion. Papoose and Remy's relationship was no longer centered around themes of love, loyalty, betrayal, and the cost of fame. After being commended for their unity, the pair was suddenly the focus of contentious discussions and extensively circulated memes. As the crisis intensified over the next few days, the media could not keep up with the constant updates, interviews, and social media posts from both sides. The previously private connection was suddenly the focus of great public attention, and the new girlfriend was thrown into the middle of the scandal. To what extent would she respond to criticism? Would she give up on the play entirely, or would she attempt to salvage her reputation? Remy's response remained steadfast in spite of everything. Instead of being the calm wife who supported Papoose, she was the one who was derided and demanded justice and respect. What is next for Remy and Papoose? Will they ever be able to reconcile, or is this the end of their romance? As the plot progresses, viewers are left wondering if Papoose will eventually rejoin Remy or if his new relationship will be his future as Remy continues to battle for their past love, or will she let go and concentrate on her career and personal objectives? Everyone is watching Papoose and Remy's love triangle as it unfolds in the public spotlight, waiting to see what will happen next in this drama that has gone viral. This story is far from over. Family is difficult for someone like 50 Cent, who fought his way to popularity with unwavering resolve, and his personal story is just as dramatic as his rise to prominence. Even though everyone knows him as a rap icon, few people are aware of the drama and heartbreak that followed his family life. 50 Cent has had a tense relationship with his oldest son, Marquise Jackson, despite having two sons. There is much more to 50 Cent's story than meets the eye. 50 Cent, whose real name is Curtis Jackson, became a parent in 1996 when his then-girlfriend Sheena Tompkins gave birth to Maris. At the moment, everything seemed to be going well, but as their turbulent relationship worsened, so did the family tie. After a protracted and contentious custody battle, tension between 50 and Maris had already begun to grow, and by the time the issue was ultimately resolved in 2008, their father-son relationship was barely surviving. The final straw came in 2008 when Mars was spotted in a photo with the child of Kenneth Supreme Griff, a member of one of 50 Cent's most threatening rivals. He adored his father and believed him to be superhuman when he was younger. However, that awe eventually gave way to disappointment as he grew older, and by the time he was a teenager, their bond had all but disappeared. According to 50, their frequent arguments with Tompkins and turbulent legal battles turned their contact into a lawyer-mediated process. In response to the criticism of his insensitive statement, 50C said that he had given Maris financial support and that his anger was driven by deep disappointment rather than hatred. Family members claimed that Maris frequently caused issues by purposefully doing things that annoyed his father. He would hang out with people he didn't like or post things online to annoy him. According to this mocking social media post, he wouldn't give a damn if he and the Griff's son were hit by a bus. By promising $6,700 for a single day of his father's time in 2022, the same sum that 50 had paid in child support every month, Mars tried to get his father's attention. Maris said he just wanted to spend time with his father and that it wasn't about money. But 50 rejected him, claiming that social media wouldn't be a part of a real attempt to make amends and that money couldn't mend a disrespectful relationship. Maris later disclosed that he had made an effort to communicate in secret, but despite the discomfort, Maris is determined to make a name for himself. He went into music, dropping songs and attempting to escape his father's shadow. 50 Cent's connection with his younger son, Sire, on the other hand, appears to be closer, although is also impacted by the difficulties he has had throughout all of the ups and downs. The family story from the 1950s explores themes of love, betrayal, and the intricacies that make family relationships so difficult to handle. He suffered as a result of not having his father's phone number and being blocked on social media. 50 Cent's path as a father and a son is no exception. In September 2012, he and Daphne Joy had Sire, their second son. Things have not always been easy with Sire's mother, Daphne Joy, despite the fact that his relationship with Sire appears to be much closer than his tumultuous relationship with his eldest son, Maris. In March 2024, Daphne claimed on social media that 50 had abused her, destroying her heart and any faith she had left in him. This serves as a reminder that even the most prosperous individuals have personal issues, and occasionally those issues can be rather severe. 50F was accused of domestic violence in 2013 following a furious dispute with Daphne. He was accused of kicking her and damaging her belongings, yet he avoided serious consequences. Despite 50 Cent's denials, the public charges exacerbated their already fragile relationship. 50 was purportedly attempting to secure sole custody of Sire at this time due to allegations that Daphne was engaged in adult labor, which she vehemently denied. The drama was no longer limited to courtrooms and was widely reported in newspapers. Despite everything, especially with reference to Sir, 50 Cent remains steadfast in his dedication to his legacy. In a recent interview, he emphasized that everything he has produced will be Sir's to retain and that his youngest son will inherit all of his wealth. His dedication to Sir was admirable, but many fans wanted to know what had happened to Mars, his firstborn kid. He was given a 3-year probationary period and community service after pleading guilty to petty vandalism. One of the most dramatic incidents in the ongoing dispute between 50 and Mars occurred in 2018, when Mars shared a picture of himself with Kenneth Supreme McGriff's son. For those who are familiar with 50's history, McGriff is more than just a moniker. To them, he symbolizes a troubling period in the rapper's life. For McGriff, who was allegedly engaged in the 2000 shooting that almost killed 50, seeing his son with the child of someone so closely connected to the incident was a breaking point. 50 Cent was determined to mend his shattered body, but his icy response to the picture made it painfully obvious how distant they had gotten. The narrative of a guy who has been affected by both tragedy and success is lost in the headlines and platinum albums, leaving fans to question if there is any chance for healing. Curtis Jackson was more than just a product of Queens, New York, as he was raised by a single mother who fought valiantly to give him a better life. His mother, Sabrina Jackson, was a hustler who was determined to provide for her child, even if it meant exercising caution in their South Jamaica, Queens neighborhood. Her strength and tenacity were widely recognized, and she made strides in. The world wasn't kind to women like her, but there are costs associated with living on the streets. In 1983, Curtis was just 8 years old when Sabrina's life was tragically taken. In what authorities thought was a homicide, his mother was drugged, rendered unconscious, and had her apartment burned down. The unsolved spooky mystery surrounding 50 Cent's death will always be a part of her life. The violent and early murder of Curtis's mother was a turning point in his life that strengthened his will, ambition, and unwavering pursuit of success. But it also left scars that, though 50 Cent has always prioritized his family, he has faced challenges. 50 Cent has talked about his mother, Sabrina Jackson, passing away when he was only 8 years old in interviews. He remembers that the one person who meant the world to him was taken away when someone put something in her drink and turned up the gas. He acknowledges, even as an adult, that whenever he encountered challenges in life, he reasoned that things would be different with his mother present. Sabrina was not only his mother, but also a strong, straightforward woman who ensured her son was prepared for the hard world. 50 said she was nurturing but stern, always encouraging him to get back up and try again. Her counsel to get up, "What are you crying for?" stuck with him as a child and later as a global citizen, affecting his approach to life's obstacles. Fame, but after her death,